Have you ever wanted something so badly but the options available are just horrible? One, although it looks good, looks like it's been tortured on a medieval stretching rack, and the other is ridiculously expensive for what it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have tasked myself to create the best model of Henry the Green Angel that I can. I came across an eBay listing for a Hornby Black 5, specifically R2359, which models 44908 in early BR Black livery. I wanted to make sure that what I bought had the top feed on the boiler like in the Railway series illustrations. I also bought some faces from Shapeways and painted them up. From who I can't remember, so please let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to pin it. The only thing was, they were too big. Yeah. The frustration was immense, especially when considering the time it took trying to paint them neatly. I put the project on hold because of university commitments and the fact I wanted to play with my new train before I ruin it. And can I just say, this engine hauls like an absolute unit and runs like the bloody Flash. I was having so much fun with it. However, I still wanted a model of Henry, so I decided that some action was needed. The green I used was a Tamiya Park green, and I started with the tender and front bogie wheels, wanting to make sure I get the hang of painting wheels to try and train myself before doing the driving wheels. I didn't really take any photos, but basically afterwards consisted of painting the tender ladders and priming the tender and body, masking whatever I needed to stay black. After the primer dried, I mixed some paint and paint thinners and just went to town on the tender body, trying to keep all the brush strokes to a minimum and in the same direction. After multiple coats, I detailed the tender with gold for the builder's plate and white for the handrails. I would change this later to silver. Next came the flat clear coat. I started off with multiple coats of green, then started the red lining with masking tape and a very fine paintbrush, and before any touch-ups were done I painted the running board in a dark grey, and his handrails were done with a silver Sharpie and the body was sprayed with a flat coat. Because I was getting into DCC, I started switching all my models to DCC, so I bought an ESU 8-pin decoder and it worked perfectly. Then tragedy struck. When testing the model on the points, the wheel seized up. I guess while I was painting, I must have bent the section that guided the piston in and out. So yeah, not good. I guess I need replacements. After that disappointment, I wanted to keep the project going, so I started on the tender lining and numbering. I found this sheet of transfers meant for New South Wales Government Railway locomotives, and O-gauge brass numbers also meant for NSWGR locos. I thought this would look cool considering I haven't seen anyone use brass numbers on their NWR locos. I also found replacement coupling rods for Henry at the new modeller's shop, the only place that had them decently priced, even after shipping them to Australia. Then it came to figuring out the layout for the numbering and potential lettering. There was the traditional number on cab and lettering on tender, lettering on the cab and number on tender, both on the tender, or the classic number on tender. I went with the last option, as you can see. I feel like I was trying too much to be different and decided that the change in style in numbering was enough to separate the model from others out there. So the replacement rods arrived, and silly me forgot to take any progress photos of me anxiously replacing them. But hey, it works. Nice. Once I knew it was working, and after a quick photo shoot for Instagram, it was lining time. I started, and I can confidently say I had no clue what I was doing because God, after finishing, I sprayed it with a clear coat and it went horribly wrong. The reason for the heavy weathering on the tender was to hide the cracks in the lining that appeared. A valuable lesson was remembered: always let transfers dry before spraying them. The brass numbers were held in place with tiny lumps of blue tack, and after weathering with Tamiya powders, a final clear coat was sprayed. And there, all done. Honestly, for my first time customizing a model, I think it went well. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you with the only good running shot of Henry that I have, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and comment on anything I can do to improve. Don't forget to subscribe to ensure you are notified of any future projects and videos of mine.